Hello friends, myself Chetan Jadhav. In previous lecture we have seen that what is meaning of the geometric modeling, its types, wireframe modeling, surface modeling and solid modeling. So in today's lecture we will start the representation schemes for the solid models. So there are some scheme for representation for the solid models. So we will start from first CSG, that is a constructive solid geometry. In that solid primitives are there, so that combined with the boolean operators, so that is a constructive solid geometry. Second, boundary representation. In that bounding faces, edges and vertices is there. Cell decomposition. In that model of the variable spatial cells. In that spatial occupancy enumeration, model of the mixed size spatial cells. Octree encoding. Sweeping. In that translation, rotation and arbitrary sweep. Last, pure primitive instancing, that is a parametric modeling. So these are the some scheme for the representation of the solid model. So we will start from the one by one. In that first we will start, that is a constructive solid geometry, that is a CSG. It uses primitive shapes as a building blocks and boolean set of operation, that is a union, intersection and differences to construct an object. So now you can see here are some primitives there, like box, cylinder, cone, wedge, sphere and torus. So this is the basic primitives for the creating any geometry by using this CSG. So constructive solid geometry with the boolean operations. So we will start from the first, that is a simple one, union. So in that union we are going to using two different objects, and from that we are creating one object, that is a union. So the sum of the all points in each of the two defined sets, that is logically we can call as OR, and also refer to as add, combine, join and merge. So in this union command boolean operation we are going to join the two different objects and to form the one single object. So this is a simple example, that object A and B we are joining, that is a combining by union operation, and then we will get the final its components. So this is the first boolean operation, that is union. Next, subtraction, that is a difference. The points in a source set minus the points combined common to a second set. Whatever that two object is the different A and B, from that whatever common object is there, that will be we are going to subtract from the other objects. So set must share common value, they have to share some common value, intersect each other, then after we will subtract other part. So also referred to be as a subtraction, remove and cut. So from this two object A and B we will get final object, that is A minus B. You can see here, this is the example of the subtraction, remove, cut or difference, that is a second boolean operations. Next, intersection. So those points common to each of the two defined sets, whatever that two object is there A and B, and whatever the common area of this two object, that will be we will form a new object, that is called as the intersection part. Set must share common value, also referred as a common and conjoin. So this is the third boolean operation, that is intersection. You can see here there are two object A and B. From this object we will get a final intersection object, that is A intersect B, means whatever the common area between these two object we are going to create the new final object, that is called as boolean intersection operation. So these are the constructive solid geometry boolean operations. Next, when using boolean operations, be careful to avoid situations that do not result in a valid solid. So we have to take care during boolean operation, we have to take care regarding the material addition, material removal and intersection at that time. So we have to take care some joining the surfaces faces. During this boolean operation, one note is there, that whatever that we are going to joining, we are going to operating boolean operation, so that object must have some common area, then and then we are going to create boolean operations. So otherwise there is no chances to create any boolean operations. So that thing we have to take it in mind, and then we will go forward. Okay, next, now we can see a boolean operation in solid modeling, how we can carry out this different boolean operations in solid modeling. First, that's the union. So second, subtraction. Third, intersection. So these are these three basic example of the boolean operation, how we are going to join the two components with a single new geometry, how we are going to subtract, how we are going to intersect, and how we will form the new object, so by using boolean operation. So these are the simple example. Now you can see next point, that is a primitive modeling combines simple shapes. Now you can see we are just adding the two objects into one object, then we are subtracting from that one third object, and then we will get the a final one object, that is called as a primitive modeling. So these functions retrieve a solid of a simple shape from among the primitive solid stored in the programs in advance and create a solid of the same shape but of the size specified the user. So in this we are going to just create the new object from this given three object, and we are doing two operations. First addition, then subtraction. We are doing combining the three object, first two object, and then subtracting one single object from these two. So afterwards we will get the a final object. This is called as a primitive modeling, combine a simple shapes. Now you can see this is the one of the example of the that constructive solid geometry, how we are join, how we are going to subtract, how we are going to intersect the part. So this is the simple example of this constructive solid geometry by using various boolean operation. Then next, a constructive solid geometry is not unique. Okay, it is not unique, we are using as a in a solid modeling. So it is more than one procedure, and hence database can be used to arrive at the same geometry. Now you can see from this given different objects, we are going to form a single object. So it is not unique, we are going to create one new object from the given different object with at the same geometry. Okay, so this is the not a unique, and this is the very good option for the creating geometry in solid modeling. Next, advantages of the constructive solid geometry and boolean operations. So boolean operations are intuitive to user, then are easy to use and understand. It is easy to understand. Just we are going to add, subtract, intersect that object. Provide for rapid manipulation of the large amount of the data. It will be provide a huge amount of the manipulation. Just we can adding a subtract that model with each other, and we will create the new objects. It is very easy. Because of this, many non-CSG systems also use the boolean operation, and because of this all advantages of the boolean operations, many non-CSG system also they are using this boolean operation for creating the geometries. Then CSG is powerful with a high level commands. Constructive solid geometry is a very highly powerful tool to construct the geometry. It is easy to construct a solid model in minimum steps. So by using this CSG, we can create the geometry with minimum steps. CSG modeling techniques lead to a concise database and less storage. By using this CSG, we are going to create any geometry within minimum steps. So that leads to the less storage in database. So it will be also most important advantages in CSG. Complete history of the model is retained and can be altered at any time. By using the CSG, we are creating any geometry, we can save the information all this model, and easily we can create or easily we can achieve that history, and we can alter, we can modify at any time, and easily of that in model or geometry can be converted to the corresponding boundary representation. We can convert this model into the boundary representation. So that are the advantages of the CSG tool. Next, disadvantages of the CSG. So only Boolean operations are allowed in the modeling process. With Boolean operations alone, the range of shapes to be modeled is severely restricted and not possible to construct unusual shapes. So in this CSG, only Boolean operations are allowed to do or create the geometry. So it will be create some restriction, and it is not possible to construct unusual shape. We can create. It is not possible to create the complex shapes. So that are the most important disadvantages in CSG. It requires a great deal of the computation to derive the information on the boundary, faces and edges, which is important for the interactive display and manipulation of the solids. So whatever we are going to create that solid model in the by using this CSG, that model we have to represent it on the computer. So that time we need some computational computation for that computer, so that information will be represented as a boundary, faces, element of that model. So that also difficult to show that all information regarding that model, because that computer must have the more computation to derive the information of that model. So these are the disadvantages of the CSG. So next point of the this modeling, solid modeling, that is a boundary representation. So now you can see there is an example, they are representing the by number faces. Number 1 is that surfaces, number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this we are going to represent that boundary name as boundary 1, boundary 2, boundary 3, like this we are going to give numbering by this boundary by using this boundary representation. Then what are the advantages of this just giving the numbering of this boundary of surfaces to as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? So capability to construct the unusual shapes that would not be possible with the available CSG in aircraft, fuel gases, swing shapes. Okay, so by using this giving numbering of the surfaces, it will be easy for the assembly purpose, easy for the any joining of the new shapes on that previous shape. So it will be easy for the joining the different parts. So it will be not possible in CSG. That's why we are going to moving towards the boundary representation. So that is most important benefit for this solid modeling. Then less computational time to reconstruct the image. So as compared to CSG requires the more computational time. In that boundary representation, it requires less computational time for the reconstruct the image. So that will be most important advantages of this boundary representation over the CSG. Then some disadvantages is there regarding the boundary representation. So in that it requires more storage for storing the all information regarding that model. It requires more storage database, so more prone to validity failure than CSG. So it requires some validity to that computation, to that creating the model. So it will be the prone to validity and failure than the CSG. It is most dangerous disadvantages, we can call as most important disadvantages. So model display limited to planar faces and linear edges. So there is a limitation regarding the planar faces and edges and whatever that point is there on that geometry. So it is limited. Complex curve and surfaces only approximated. So in that creating that boundary, and that curve and surfaces only approximated. So these are some disadvantages of the boundary representation. The next point of the solid modeling, that is a cell decomposition. So now you can see the images. That first images is the solid model. In that second, that model with the 3 cells, there are contain different 3 cells, and last model with 7 cells. We are just creating the different cells at a single model, and that will be helpful for the further process. So that things we are just creating the decomposition of the cell. We are dividing the faces, we are dividing the edges, and we are giving the numbering as in body representation, and that will be helpful for the further modeling process in solid modeling. So that is called as a cell decomposition. Next, there is a spatial occupancy enumeration. We are just creating the edges and faces on this model, and that will be helpful for the further processes. That is an example of the just enumeration by using spatial occupancy. Next, octaric encoding. In that, in previous type, we are dividing the equal number of the squares or elements or faces, but in that octary encoding we are just dividing the a single line on that object. We are just creating surfaces but in minimum number. So that is a octary encoding. Next, sweeping. Now you can see there are three images. In that, linear extrude sweep is there, non-linear is there, and solid revolution is there. And that linear extrude, we are just creating the some 2D commands, and that will be extend or extrude on the given direction. That will be created the solid geometry. In second, non-linear, we can create the any curve in just any plane, and just you can just give a sweep command, that will be created a solid model. And last command, we have to just draw an axis, and according to that axis we have to create some geometry, that 2D line or command, and that will be, we are going to sweep around that axis, that will be create a 3D model. So that is a sweeping in solid modeling. By using sweeping we can create the any 3D model. Okay. Then a pure primitive instancing. Now you can see this is a one model is there, and this is giving all the dimensions. That is called as a primitive dimensions, primitive instancing, pure. So that things just represented how to give all dimension, all information regarding that the solid model on that drawings. And last, that is a application of the solid modeling. What are the application of the solid modeling? That is first graphics, then design, then manufacturing and assembly. So in that graphics, we can use in graphics different games, and in different industry we are using the various tools. So in that we are going to use the solid modeling. By using solid modeling we can create the any type of the model for the your requirement. So design, in that design we are going to just easily capture that all information regarding that the solid model, as in terms of the geometric specification, size, shape. We can easily take the information from that, and we can move towards the further process, designing process. In manufacturing we are going to some designing the model, and from that 3D model, solid model, we can just give the some create the views, different views for the drafting purposes, and we are going to give our more information regarding that part. In assembly we are going to just assemble different parts into a single assembly. At that time we are going to use the solid modeling. So these are some application of the solid modeling. Next point, that is a types of the curves in this geometric modeling. So based on the input value, that is the first example, that is curve consists of the point, lines, arc, circle, ellipse, parabola. That is the first analytical curve, and second synthetic curve, that is a free curves. That is the interpolation curves, approximation curves, in that Bezier curve, B-spline and nerve. So based on the input value there are two types of the curve. First, analytical curve by using various point, line, arc, ellipse, circle like this parabola, and second synthetic curve, that is a free curve by using some interpolation and approximation curve. So example for this Bezier, B-spline and nerve. So we'll see in details in next slide. So based on the dependency and determination of the coordinates, there are again two type of the curve. One is a non-parametric curve and second is a parametric curve. In that non-parametric curve we will see two type, explicit and implicit, and in parametric we will see the independent variable curve. So we'll start from the first, that is the analytic curve, a curve for which the input is standard analytical mathematical equation, that is a y is equal to mx plus c, that is a line, circle x square plus y square, that is r square. The basic entities can be combined together with end conditions so as to generate the overall curve design. So we have to draw the curve, analytic curve, by using the various standard entity, that is a line, point, circle, ellipse, parabola. Just from that equation we will create the different curve in this analytic curve. Then second, a synthetic curve. In that curve, fitting a curve which passes through the given data points or control points, whatever given information, that information contains that point, and we are covering that control points, and by using this control point we can change the nature of the curve also, and that we are going to see in the Bezier curve, B-spline curve. So that will be seen in our next slide. But in that synthetic curve there are some control point, and by using this control point we can create the change the nature of that curve also. So there are some application in design requirements of the mechanical parts such as car bodies, aeroplane wings, ship hull, blades, bottle shapes, biomedical application. In that we are using this synthetic curve for the our requirements. So there are two types, interpolation and approximation. So by using interpolation we are creating, now we can see that is P0 is point, P1, P2, P3, P4. We are covering the all points, interpolation points, and in the approximation points we are just covering 2 or 3 points and just creating the a curve. From that 4 to 5 curve we are just covering 2 or 3 points. So by using that control points means that P0, P1, P2, P3, 4, that point is called as a control point, and that from control point, by using this control point we can create or control the nature of the curve also. So what are the characteristics of the synthetic curves? So first, control points, like next local and global control, then flexibility and order of continuity. So control points, that is nothing but as in previous slide we have seen that control point means that is point P2, P1, P3. By using that control point we can change the nature of this shape of the curve. Then local and global control. Local means just we are going to controlling only one point in between that curve, and global means we are changing the whole shape and size of that curve. We are changing the n number of the control point. So we are just change the location of that different point. Next, flexibility. That curve should have the more flexibility. We can easily change the size, shape of that curve in any direction. That should be have more flexibility. And last, order of the continuity. So that curve having different order. That curve should have different order. So this is the characteristics of the synthetic curve. Then we'll see the order of the continuity means C0, zero order continuity. Two curves meet with forms of the sharp corner. C1, first order means two curves are tangent at the intersection point. Next, 2, second order continuity means curvature to be same. Like this, you can see here one table is there, one column is order, degree, and name. So by using this order and degree we will form this different curves. Then the first order for 0 degree we will form the constant line. Second order first degree will form a linear line. Third order second degree will form the quadratic. Then 4, 3 cubic, and 5 for quadratic. So this is the order of the continuity for the curve. Now you can see 0 order continuity, first order continuity, and second order continuity. So by using this different order we will form the different type and nature of the curve. So this is the example of the order of the continuity. Next curve, that is a Hermite cubic curve. In that curve, it is a simplest synthetic curve with cubic degree, and cubic spline curve passes through the data points, and therefore it is an interpolate. So this is the interpolate. So this is curve passes through all the points, and it is a first order continuity. The general non-parametric equation for the basic 2D cubic spline is y is equal to a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus a3x cube. It is a simple first order continuity equation for this Hermite cubic curve. It is the simplest synthetic curve with cubic degree. So it is a simplest type of the synthetic curve. Then what are the key features of the Hermite curve? So it is a parametric cubic curve. It can be generate a long curve by combining the number of the curves, but it can provide only C0 continuity, that is the first degree. So we can create the long curve by combining a number of the curves, but it can provide only zero continuity. Next, it is an interpolation type of the curve, and hence it is not used to generate the free form shapes. So by using this interpolation type, we are creating the curve, so it will be not generated as a free of shape, so it will be free defined curve by using these different control points. So next, 2 points and 2 slopes at the start and end points are used as input. So in this, we are going to start from the 2 point and 2 slopes and end with the input. So defining tangents is not very convenient. So in this type of the curve, the tangent will be not convenient for the define. Okay. Then next, drawbacks of the Hermantide curve. So in that, due to its global control characteristics, by changing the position of the data control, the entire shape of the spline changes. So we are just changing the control of this point with the global characteristics, but in the position of the data, it will be changed entire shape of the curve or spline. That is a main drawback. The curve is always cubic regardless of the number of the data points. So curve always be in cubic nature, so rather than instead of this number of the data points. So curve is less smoother than the other synthetic curve. This curve is less smoother than other synthetic curves, so that is most important drawbacks. Practically, the direction and magnitude of the tangent vector is very difficult to know. In this Hermantide curve, the nature of the tangent of the vector and magnitude and direction, it is to find out it is a very difficult task practically. So more you need to do only specified, only it is a specific to the only some control points. So these are the some drawbacks of the Hermantide curve in a synthetic curve. So so this is about today's lecture. So remaining part of this chapter we will see in next lecture. So thank you so much.